Okay, so how you run the actual enrichment functions from each module is you click Add Enrichment once you have imported your table for bulk enrichment. Click Add Enrichment, and then now that you're here, you have 6 main modules. Within these modules, they have sub-functions. So one, for example, is finding a work email using a waterfall. So what we'll do here is this is the first module, the first function that we'll focus on. So find work email using waterfall. What is required is for you to click your first name, click the last name of that particular field that's mapped to the last name of your prospects or a list of customers that you're using, and then website or domain that you have. So you definitely need that. So what you would do is you can also retrieve that directly from the company name using a different enrichment function. So I already ran that. So I click find website from company name. And then a LinkedIn URL is very important. And you can also retrieve that directly from a BetterEnrich function that you run that using an email as the matching field. So you need a matching field, you need some type of raw data input to be able to get the LinkedIn profile URL. So I already have that. And then you can say, do I want to auto run it upon clicking save, or do you want to run it based on specific conditions that need to be met? So only run if the seniority is above a manager level or if it's below a director level or if it's a C-suite executive, et cetera. So you can have all of these conditions run here. Otherwise, you just click save. And what it'll do is it'll add a column to the end. And this column, you can just click the little play button and you can say run first 10 rows or run all rows that haven't run or have errors, choose a number of rows or force run all rows. So let's say force number of rows and we just want to run 3 starting from the row 1 and let's just run it. So it'll run and then it'll tell you what the work email is for each of these prospects with an extremely high level of accuracy and a high degree of confidence. Because again, we are using a waterfall approach. So we are leveraging data provider 1, data provider 2, data provider 3, et cetera, on top of our own proprietary data set. And with each subsequent enrichment, the entire data set is considerably more complete. So that's finding work emails using our own waterfall. Now, the second function is finding a personal email using a waterfall. So let's run through that because that is very valuable when you're trying to get in touch with, for example, if you're a recruiter or a staffer or an HR specialist and you're trying to get a prospect's attention for a role that they would be a strong fit for, and you already know their credentials and qualifications are a match for what you're hiring for, you would click find personal email and all you need is the LinkedIn URL. So this is one of our most popular functions other than finding a personal phone number. So you click find LinkedIn profile URL and then same thing, you can auto run it or you can run a specific condition. So only run it if the person's name starts with A or the person's seniority is manager level and above. So let's click save. And what you do to run this is you click the play button and then you say, choose the number of rows. Let's say we're going to run it 5 times and it'll find as many personal emails as possible attached to each of these prospects. And that's it. So that's how you do that particular enrichment. You don't have to wait for it to finish. You can continue going to the next module. So let's go through the next one. So a third one is finding mobile phone number using a waterfall. So this is, I would say, one of our main flagship functions and the most popular used because it's extremely difficult finding a personal mobile phone number or a cell phone number. And a work phone number is not going to cut it if you're a recruiter or a staffer or a headhunter, or if you're trying to find someone's personal information to try to get their attention. A work phone is not gonna be as useful or as powerful. So what you would need for this is again a LinkedIn URL. It all starts with the LinkedIn URL, and you click that and you click save. So then all you do is you want to run it. let's say we run it for 3 rows and let it run. And it'll find what the mobile phone number is for this particular group of prospects. And then you can just run it for the rest of the rows as well if you want. So that is how you find a mobile phone number using Waterfall. Next, we're going to go off, find people at company using Waterfall. So let's go through that. So let's say we want to find a founder. We want to include a founder. And we want to say we only want to find owners and heads. And for job functions, we want to have ideally someone who is in design, engineering, finance, and HR. And you could say a current company that they worked for, or some type of prior employer, or a prior company that they had founded. So you can build it, and you can be as sophisticated as you really want to. You can say, I want to find founders at companies that are based in New York in the United States. You only want to have people who have 10 people in the company itself. And then what you would need is afterwards, your goal is to fill in as many as you can, and then you're going to run it. So once you run it, it is going to then give you as much data as it can possibly find with the inputs that we had. So that's how you find people at company. So now, these are the 4 main functions for waterfall enrichment. So for social enrichment, you have 5